Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Now in this video, we'll have an introduction to deep learning. So as we progress in today's session, we'll understand what is deep learning, what is the need for deep learning, various use cases of deep learning, and how you can get started with deep learning with minimal effort. So we are going to learn each and everything in detail as we progress in today's session. So if you are new to us, ensure that you subscribe to our channel so that you can get the latest updates around deep learning, data science and machine learning. Okay, so let's start by the first question. What is deep learning and why do we have to be concerned about this deep learning? If you look at this diagram, you can clearly observe this deep learning that you see over here. This is present within the machine learning, and machine learning is present within the artificial intelligence. If I want to explain this overall hierarchy, on top I have an artificial intelligence. Now artificial intelligence is a system which has the ability to analyze, and along with this analyze, it also has the ability to take an action. So we would say artificial intelligence is a system which is capable of taking the decision and also taking the action, and that is the beauty of this artificial intelligence system. Now we have a machine learning. Now you can clearly observe from this diagram, this machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, which means it can do only a part of what my AI system can do. Now, talking about this machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence which will analyze the data. That's it. It will just analyze the data for us. And while performing the analysis, here it will make use of statistical models. It is based on statistical models. Now, our deep learning, which we are interested in learning today, so this deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So even this deep learning helps us in finding the pattern for a given data set. But to find the pattern, instead of using this statistical model, we make use of a special structure that's called as artificial neural network. And these artificial neural network are the structures which are inspired by our human brain. And that is what this deep learning is all about. It's actually a structure where I'll go ahead and I'll create this structure to analyze my given data set. Using this artificial neural network structure, we'll understand the data, we'll find the patterns present in the data. Just like we can perform the classification, regression and other activities, we can perform the same using the neural network, and that is what deep learning is all about. If I talk about this deep learning, as I mentioned, deep learning is made up of artificial neural network. It's composed of series of layers, and these layers are connected together to form an artificial neural network. And this artificial neural network, it actually forms the core of my deep learning. And the best part about this artificial neural network is it is powerful, it is versatile, and more importantly, it is scalable. It is scalable, which means I can apply it on a very large data volume as well. As a result of this, we find the use cases of deep learning in various scenarios like Google Images. Whenever I want in Google Images, in classifying the image data, Amazon Alexa while responding to the human commands, and we've got Netflix. Netflix actually uses deep learning in order to recommend the contents for their users. So these are some of the applications of deep learning, and we see this application present in each and every domain. So here these three things are just the example. Apart from this, I can say this is being used in each and every domain. Now you might be wondering why deep learning is getting popularity these days. It is true that this concept of deep learning was actually not new to us. Frankly speaking, guys, this concept was actually present in the 19s itself, like 1920, 1940. In those years itself, we had this conceptual understanding of deep learning. But why are we seeing this deep learning getting popularity these days? One main important reason is the explosion of the data, that is explosion of big data. With the digitization come into picture, many companies they started storing the data in a digital manner. So as a result of this, accessibility of the data and storing the data became cheaper and cheaper, and more importantly it is now available in a digital format. So that is one reason. And the another main reason is hardware. Just think about the cost of CPU right now and think about the cost of CPU 10 years ago, or just compare between the size of the memory of, let's say, 8 MB of floppy drive with 32 GB of pen drive that you have right now. It's so simple, isn't it? It has become quite economical for getting the accessories on and for getting this hardware, and it has become cheaper and cheaper. And also the advancements that we have done in terms of hardware, it's huge. And over on top, in order to use this amazing hardware that we have, we've got amazing software libraries like PyTorch, TensorFlow. Using this PyTorch and TensorFlow, we can make use of powerful hard drive and run it on top of them so that we can efficiently process this big data and find the analysis and find the pattern on those big data. And that's the best part, and that is the main reason we see a lot of progress in the field of deep learning. And more importantly, with the open source in the picture, we see a lot of active community in terms of GitHub and other communities, ensuring that we've got a lot of learners who are interested, and we've got a lot of researchers working on this domain. So because of all these factors, deep learning is gaining the popularity these days. Now, if I'm using something, it should actually give me an advantage over the other things, isn't it? Now, let's talk about why do we use deep learning and in which scenarios, and what is the improvement that we are going to get over machine learning. One major improvement that we get over machine learning is here it is going to help us in reducing the curse of dimensionality. As you might have experienced, when it comes to machine learning, if I have more number of dimensions, let's say if my dimension grows, let's say 100 or 1000 or more than that, we see that machine learning models struggle when it comes to prediction. And even those machine learning models, since they are being statistical in nature, they don't have the ability to make use of GPUs and to increase the parallelization and increase the computation. So that is where machine learning lacks. But that is where the deep learning shines, because the deep learning will be able to work well even if I have more number of features. And one of the major tasks that we face as a data scientist is extracting the important features. And that is a manual work, even though as much as we hate it, we still have to do it. But when it comes to deep learning, we don't have to worry about feature engineering. Feature engineering will be done automatically. At least majority of the part will be taken care by the deep learning itself. And that removes one more barrier for us. And with the more amount of data, traditional machine learning algorithms is going to become stagnant. But with the deep learning techniques, we have observed that the performance of the deep learning model increases with the increase in the data. Because of all this reason, we see a lot of interest among the community for deep learning. So this is a trend which talks about how the deep learning worldwide such topics would look like. See, you can clearly see in the past few years we see a lot of increase, and the growth is it's going in a tremendous manner over the last few years, especially in the topic of deep learning. Now, I'll just give you an idea about a use case of this deep learning in a social media. I'm sure everyone is aware of social media, so I'll just give you a relatable example and how deep learning is being used in social media. So I can say in social media, if I take an example like Facebook. So in social media, deep learning is being used for face recognition. Not only that, deep learning is also used in suggesting the potential friends, suggesting the relevant post, suggesting the advertisement. See, all these things which we experience day in and day out with our social media application. So all these core things are being run by my deep learning model. And you tell me which is the one which is being most popular. That's correct. That's deep learning. So I hope you now know why deep learning is getting the traction these days and why it is in great demand. Now, you might be wondering, if you're someone who is into deep learning and who wants to learn deep learning, how to get started with deep learning. Since I've just talked about multiple things in this video, we've got artificial neural network, and using that, we are going to process the data, and we have various libraries. Well, don't worry. To help you progress in the learning journey, we have created a playlist in our YouTube channel. So this playlist contains the complete deep learning course using TensorFlow. You can just check the link in the description, follow along with me, and I'm sure you're going to have fun with the hands-on learning with this theoretical concepts that you will be required to learn. So I hope you guys will check out this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you in the class 1 of this deep learning tutorial. All right. So thank you so much for watching. Now stop wasting the time. Start learning now. I look forward to seeing you next time.